Hello, hockey fans. We welcome you to the Danbury Ice Arena here in Danbury, Connecticut on the Hat Tricks Digital Network. Alongside Patrick Runberg, Phil Jubileo on hand. And tonight, we've got the return to play following the Christmas break between the Danbury Hat Tricks and the Port Huron Prowlers. The Hat Tricks looking for a win, Pat. They have lost 3 in a row against Binghamton, a team that really has been the thorn in their side all season long. Danbury coming in with a record of 8-11-3, but they've also lost a pair of games to their opponent tonight, Port Huron. The Prowlers opened the season here against the Hat Tricks, got a pair of victories against Danbury. So for the Hat Tricks, they're trying to end a losing streak, and they're finally looking to get a win against this Port Huron squad.
Yeah, Phil, they haven't played Port Huron in over 2 months. It was the season opening weekend where they lost those two. Almost half the team is different now on this Hat Tricks roster, so after a 4-game skid against Binghamton, happy to play a team not named the Black Bears for sure.
Well, the last time Danbury took to the ice, it was up in Binghamton on December 20th, and the wheels fell off the bus in the third period in particular. The Hat Tricks lost that game 11-3. They gave up 5 unanswered goals in the third period after Johnny Ruiz had scored in the opening minute of period number 3, but it was the backup netminder Christian Wong Ramos getting that third period in net for the Hat Tricks. He allowed 5 goals over 12 shots. Meanwhile, for Port Huron, they come in off a win 7-1 against the Blue Ridge Bobcats in what was a wild game between those two teams that saw the Blue Ridge head coach get kicked out of the game, got a game misconduct, and a 4 power play goal night for the Prowlers, and they finally were able to get their man advantage back on track as we get set to send it down for the national anthem. Well, an outstanding job on the national anthem as we get set for the opening face-off between the Port Huron squad and the Danbury Hat Tricks here at the DIA. Alongside Pat, Phil Jubileo with you, and we'll take a look at the goaltending matchup first for these two teams. For the Hat Tricks, it will be Risar in net. Sebastian Risar, the University of Toronto alum from Whitby, Ontario. And on the season, Risar with a record of 7-4, a 3.54 goals against average. Was not great in the loss up at Binghamton, but he's the guy at this point of the year.
No, Sebastian's been excellent since signing back in late October. He's had 6 games of 40-plus saves this season, so he's had to do a lot. He's been asked to do a lot in between the pipes. He's top 5 in the league in save percentage, so he's been solid. You know, the couple losses against Binghamton, it's a team loss. He played incredibly well in that first game in Danbury back on the 12th, so excited to see him back on home ice tonight.
Meanwhile, Reed Cooper from Curry College 6'2", just under 200 pounds, from Corman Park, Saskatchewan. He has been having a fantastic season. Cooper this year 11-6 with a 2.51 goals against average. He stopped 85 of 86 shots in the opening weekend series against the Danbury Hat-Tricks, and he had a 21 save effort in the victory over Blue Ridge back on the 20th.
Yeah, this is a guy who's played in the ECHL, has some pedigree to his name. A Saskatchewan native. He's third in the league in goals against average, and he's fourth in save percentage. So he's another one of these goalies who is at the top of the FPHL, and we get two of them in this game, and a rivalry game nonetheless, as we will discuss throughout this game, Phil. I mean, a lot of bad blood between these two teams. Hat-Tricks looking to get some vengeance tonight.
Indeed, as we get a look at the starting lineup for this Danbury Hat-Trick squad, it'll be Robinson centering Austin Belfay, along with Alex Legkoff, the dynamic leading scorer, leads the Fed in goals this season. And on defense, it will be for the Hat-Tricks, Susinski along with Pickford. And we are underway here at the DIA as the Hat-Tricks are in the orange with the white and black trim. Quick pass up the middle, looking to spring Legkoff in. He will beat out the icing as it angles in front, and Cooper gets a quick snow shower just 19 seconds in, and that starts the tempers flaring. It didn't take long to get both sides upset.
Only took 2 seconds in the season opener, and not too much longer this time. But Legkoff showing his speed, which is one of his key assets.
Oh, there was the playoff flag planting incident after Port Huron won the Federal Hockey Playoff Series last year, and they took that series here in Danbury. And as you mentioned, that got things started off on the wrong foot back in October when this season began. Face-off will be to the right of Cooper. Noah Robinson will take the draw for the Hat-Tricks. Off of Belfay, chipped ahead, gotten back by Robinson. Shot was blocked in front, and here's Noah Robinson keeping it along the boards. Now for Belfay along the half wall. Robinson, good work in the corner, trying to angle it out in front. And Belfay with it at the point, turns and shoots, and it ricochets wide. Back along the near side, Lucas Lockney will clear it out to center ice for Port Huron, and now chipped up to Legkoff. Legkoff, a little 2-on-3 down low, trying to get around some bodies as he works it back in behind the net. And chipped along the near wing side as Goutenay couldn't keep it in the zone, and now flips it back across the Port Huron line.
Good start for the Hat-Tricks, getting some action in the offensive end.
Out to center. Come the Prowlers in across the line. Favaro loose in the slot, now broken up and regained by Johnny Ruiz. Cleared out to center ice, but the Prowlers right back with it. And a turnover. Loose in the high slot, regained by Port Huron, and now cleared out to center ice. Worked across the line. In the slot, bouncing puck. In behind the net, it is gained and back along the near side. Flipped out to the line. Johnson moves it across to the right side. Favaro to the half wall. And now in behind the net as it is Anderson, who had a 4-point game, 2 goals and 2 assists in that victory over Blue Ridge. Chipped back to the line, kept alive, fired out in front. Backhand shot and a save made by Resar. Cleared out to the line, but not out. Now Anderson dropped it off and regained as it is flipped by Crom to the Port Huron line, and here come the Prowlers once again. Fast pace of this first period, shot from the wing is stopped by Resar, cleared back to the line. Bucell to Favaro, he shoots and it's off the glove of Resar, and he'll snow it down with 2:08 played.
Busy stretch there in the defensive end. Resar, a couple saves, including the one up front before. But doing good work so far early, 2 minutes in. Just a couple times, Hat-Tricks unable to get a full clearance. The Prowlers getting some extended zone time.
The Lion native, Zach Pamaleon, set to take the face-off, but it's Bucell winning the draw. Back to Parsons, moves it across to the right point for Lockhart. Played down the boards. Flip toward the corner. In behind the net. Battle coming over is Legkoff. You'll see him just about every other shift in this game. He is such a dynamic offensive player, and he'll sprint out as the long pass out to center ice is taken back by Port Huron. Now regained by Connor Bizel as it is dumped in and played by Resar. The Hat-Tricks just a record of 8-11-3, but 9 of those losses to the top team in the league in Binghamton as Lakehoff comes in offside with 17-14 left in the first period.
Yeah, Phil, if you were to describe this team's season so far, it has been one of streaks. A 4-game loss, losing streak against the Black Bears. Before that, a 4-game win streak. Before that, a 4-game losing streak. So a team of streaks definitely this season.
Well, Binghamton, the one team that the Hat-Tricks have not been able to solve, the 2-time defending champions of the Federal Prospects Hockey League, and they have beaten just about everybody, and far and away the best record in the league once again as they're looking for the trifecta. Meanwhile, Port Huron looking for their first Commissioner's Cup, having a very solid start to their season, a very consistent lineup, which certainly bodes well for them come playoff time. When you are able to ice the same group of players every night in a league like this, certainly bodes to be helpful as Anderson drops off a nice pass, loose out at center ice as it's played across for Price from the half boards. Price looks in front. Bavaro tried to get a shot in on goal. He was tied up, back out to the line and played out to the half wall. Turning, shooting, kicked away on the shot. That was Vincent DeCumbis, the Freeburg, Ohio native, trying to make it 1-0 here for Port Huron. Back along the near wing side, it's picked up by Tomasi. Sent it rink wide and across the line. Tukane gliding to the right side while the Hat-Tricks change up here in this opening period with the shots on goal unofficially 6-0 in favor of visiting Port Huron. Back out to the line. Try to play it down low, regained out at center ice by Lockney. Now a nice little poke check. Robinson comes across. They have numbers, a shot to save May. The rebound loose in front. Lakehoff picked it up behind the net. Now to Austin Belfay. Back in Robinson. Tried to drop that off for Lakehoff. The pass is broken up, and now here comes Port Huron through center. And along the left side, it is dumped in. Behind the net, Resar will play it. Along the half boards, Robinson applying the lumber. Lockney tried to play it ahead to the line. Now it's regained by Rupsov. Rupsov, the Russian, gliding, moving to the left. Loose puck in front, they score! An early goal for Danbury. Gregory Susinski, the rookie with his second of the season. It's 1-0 Hat-Tricks.
Well, what a job by the defenseman here, following through on the even rush here. You see Susinski just crash in at the end. Loose puck in the middle of the slot. Just comes right through. Not a clean shot, but a goal nonetheless for Susinski, who, like you said, came in only a couple weeks ago and making his presence known tonight. Hat-Tricks 1, Port Huron 0, 15-21 in the first.
Well, the University of Jamestown product, big boy at 6'4", his second goal now in his 5th game with the hat-trick, providing instant dividends as he is already on that top D pair and with Lockhart. And you know, the Hat-Trick's a team that does score a bunch of goals, but they also give up a lot. And the defensive end is where they need to work on things as Bizal dumps that in. That one settled down, played ahead. Rupsov deflects it out to center ice. So the Hat-Tricks, the early lead on the goal by Susinski, as now it's played over to Crom. Centering pass taken away. Bizal met at the line. Regained by Fennell. Here comes Fennell with a lot of speed, looking to go 1-on-4. Has it back in the corner and now lost behind the net to Favaro. And the Hat-Tricks this season, when they score the game's first goal, they have a record of 5-0 on the season. They've had a lot of trouble playing from behind, and they've had to play from behind most nights this year. Back out to the line. Johnson shot save. Rebound. They score! And coming right back, Port Huron. That's Price off the rebound, and we're knotted at 1.
A similar goal there for Price and Port Huron. Just a late crasher coming in on net. And we'll see the replay in a minute. For Price, his 6th goal of the season, but just a nice job coming in from the blue line and cleaning up what was left from Resar after the shot to his right. And 2 quick goals, 1-1.
6th goal of the season, his 10th career Federal Prospects Hockey League goal. He spent a good chunk of last season in the SPHL. 17 games of experience for the Trine University product. And already a goal aside here early in this first period. Not even 6 minutes through as the pass ricochets a little bit too far past Tomasi, who looks to get it back. Cleared out to Bazal at center. Pass ahead, up the middle. Here's Bucell from the slot. Shot was blocked and ranging to his left to hold on. And we get a stoppage in play, and we've got tempers flaring in behind the Danbury net. Frondudo in the fray. Got a couple of Port Huron bodies as well as both sides converge. We have yet to see gloves drop here in the first period, but certainly no love lost here on the night after Boxing Day. We'll step aside and come back with more. You're watching Danbury Hat-Tricks Hockey on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Head over to TK's American Cafe on White Street for 80 different wing flavors and good times. With 30 flat-screen televisions and free Wi-Fi, we're the perfect spot to catch the game or enjoy a night out. Visit tksamericancafe.com for more information. TK's American Cafe. Make sure to try our hat-trick flavor. When life brings legal challenges, trust Chipman, Mizuko, and Emerson. From business law and real estate to estate planning and litigation, our experienced attorneys are here to guide you every step of the way. Proudly serving clients across Fairfield County and Western Connecticut. Learn more at danburylaw.com. Nothing freshens like an ice-cold Coca-Cola. From classic Coke to a wide variety of sparkling and still drinks, we've got something for everyone. Learn more at CokeNortheast.com, because every sip deserves a smile.
EIA alongside Pac Runberg, Phil Jubileo with you as we are at 1-1, and we've got matching roughing penalties at the end of the sequence at 6:03 of this first period. So we will see 4-on-4 action for the first time tonight is for the Hat-Tricks. Well, it is showing number 12 in the box. That is Frondudo. He was involved. And meanwhile for Port Huron, Luke James. So we get some open ice here in this first period. 1-1 scores. The puck angled off a skate out to center ice. Federle playing defense tonight. He's normally a forward, not the biggest guy out there, but he could do a lot, especially on the power play. Netta Lockney lining down to the wing from a sharp angle. Good save made by Resar. Here come the Hat-Tricks out to center. Legkoff, and you know he likes the open ice across the line. Makes a move, dangles back to the right side. To the circle, a shot from Robinson, and that one denied on a save by Cooper. We are 30 seconds into the 4-on-4. And the matching roughing penalties on Frondudo and James. Port Huron playing it from in behind the net. Anderson drops back off. Now Federle, the captain on this team, will give over. And now Nick Favaro holding in behind the net. Port Huron spending a lot of time back in their own zone. Finally with it, Anderson tries to split the D. Played back to the netminder. Resard drops that back off. Susinski is there, and he'll ladle it back. Here comes Pickford in a cross. Turned it over. Belfay gets it back. Austin's uncle, Blake Belfay, the first ever goal scorer here for the Danbury Trashers in this building, celebrating a birthday tonight. Austin, number 88 for the Hat-Tricks, having a fine year. His first in Danbury, his second in the Fed. So we're down to 30 seconds remaining in the 4-on-4 as Port Huron ices the puck, and we'll get a whistle with 12:23 remaining in the first.
Austin's definitely been one of the top forwards for the Hat-Tricks this season. Last year with Blue Ridge, 21 points in 33 games, so he's already only 4 points off that mark halfway through this season. He's definitely been a top 6 piece for Coach Bierchen and company.
Meanwhile, for Danbury, Ruiz will take the face-off. Won the draw, tries to cut to the net. Anderson cuts him off. Port Huron with it as they glide out to center. 20 and counting left in the 4-on-4. Flipped in across the line. Played back in the corner. Now to the circle for Price. Looking for his second save. Made rebound backhanded off the side of the net by Hakala. And that one also is denied. Played out to the line. Now back over as Price, who has the equalizing goal for Port Huron, will feed it back into his own zone. We're back on 5-on-5 hockey as the matching penalties on Frondudo and James have concluded. Hat-trick set up back in their own zone. Pass up the boards, deflected in by Frandudo, who returned to the ice following his penalty. Along the right half boards, puck tied in along the wall, a 3-on-2 battle. The boys in orange and black vying for control against Port Huron. They've got those white jerseys with the red and black trim, and now gained in behind the net as the Prowlers feed it softly out to center ice. Bucell and across the Danbury line. Surveys the ice, looks, fires it in front, loose in the slot, played back to the wall, and dumped out to center ice. Nicely played by Josh Newberg, the veteran from Cranford, New Jersey. Good work in the corner from Fennell. Trying to battle for possession. Graham gets it back for Port Huron. He feeds the line. Federally moves it back to the right side. There's a shot that got through traffic and deflects off his stick. It goes out of play. A lot of bodies in front of the goaltender for Danbury. Is a little bit of a screen being sent against Resar, but he was able to remain calm.
That was excellent concentration by Resar there. A lot of guys who are clearly heavily in the blue paint right there, right in his grill, and able to just get a piece on it and get it out of play.
On the Danbury goal, it was Rupsoff and Lekoff getting the assists on the Price goal. Alex Johnson, the lone helper for the South Dakota native, who played his college hockey at South Dakota State. As the Prowlers with control. And behind the net, Decumbis turned it over. Battling is Suzinski. Coming over now is Movali as he gets tied up in the corner. Physical battle. Anderson coming away with it. Makes a nice move to the front of the net. Has it poked away by Suzinski, who's been very calm and patient on the defensive end in front of the net. Meanwhile, the shot bouncing off a body. Back in the corner for Decumbis. Drops that back off. And Price chases it down as we are nearing the halfway mark of this first period. And we get the game's first penalty. And it will be against the Hat-tricks. And we will see the power play of Port Huron go to work here with 9:45 gone by.
It's going to be Sasinski going to the box after scoring the goal. Serve 2 minutes here. We'll see what it is officially. But it's Port Huron power play operating at 12%. So at the bottom of the league, in fact. And you see the replay there. Just to look at Sasinski. Got the push from behind. So not the best power play unit. But
call that boarding. We'll see what they officially call it. And while Port Huron is at the bottom of the Fed on the power play, they were 4 for 12 in that blowout victory over Blue Ridge. And a good job to get that out of the zone by Austin Pickford. So the Prowlers will start back at their own zone. Danbury, meanwhile, on the penalty kill, just over 80%. And they are 7th in the league this season. They do have a pair of shorthanded goals. Federally drops that back off. And he's the guy to watch on that power play. Good puck distributor and natural forward. Gliding across the line. Alex Johnson, they try to drop it back off. Cleared back to the line. Federally with a hold. Now worked back along the sidewall. 45 gone to the penalty against Susinski. As Ruiz tried to force that out of the zone. Cross ice for Johnson. Now moves it back to the half wall. As Lockney finds Federally in the slot. That was knocked down. Nice play off of the skate of Tukane as he got it out to center ice. Dumped right back in across the line. And the Hat-tricks retrieve control. Lockney pressuring hard on the forecheck, but it's Pickford now with it. As we're more than halfway through this first power play. Fired down 200 feet. And Cooper will slide that over. And here comes Port Huron with it, nearly coughed up. Not the best puck movement here as Hakela drops it back off. Rolling around is Favaro. Looks to gain the center line. This is a Port Huron team. They're not afraid to go backwards to move forward. Price making a nice move, got caught off balance, and the Hat-tricks will get it back out. Now it's Anderson. Oh, makes a nice feint move. Drops it back off to the right side. Lockhart back to the point. A big drive by Favaro, and that one failed to hit the net. Loose back out to the point again. Favaro again. Now to Anderson. Trying to spin away from Caden Fennell. And behind the goal as time expires on the Susinski penalty. He'll come out of the box and rejoin the play as it's loose. And off his skate in Frandudo will take it ahead. Moves it back. Susinski, who's got the goal for the Hat-tricks, tries to muscle his way toward the net. And regained by Port Huron as they get it clear out to center ice. Goes down the rest of the way. And Pickford is there to dump it up the boards. Forced out to center ice by Kanderka. And flipped back on net as it is smothered and held onto by the netminder for the Hat-Tricks. And we will step aside as, again, we've got a congregation, but with 7:46 left, first period, it's a 1-1 game here on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Looking for the best in beverage distribution? Choose DiCello Distributors. From Anheuser-Busch to local craft beers, we offer a full range of beer, cider, and non-alcoholic options. Serving New Haven, Fairfield, and Middlesex counties, we're committed to quality service and community. Visit DiCello.com to learn more. Diversified Printing Solutions is your full-service print partner in Danbury. With over 50 years of combined experience, we handle everything from graphic design and branded premiums to bindery mailing and smaller large print runs. DPS doesn't just print, we help you communicate from concept to delivery. Visit us online at dprintingsol.com. Struggling with pain or mobility issues? Turn to Hartsburg Chiropractic Health Center in Danbury. Specializing in posture correction, sports injuries, sciatica, arthritis, and more, our patients rave about personalized care and lasting results. Visit hartsburgchiropractic.com to schedule.
Back at the DIA with 7:46 left to play in this first period. It's the Hat-Tricks in Port Huron tied at 1 on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. Pac Rudberg, Phil Jubileo on hand has got a couple of goals coming just over 1 minute apart. Suzinski got it started for the Hat-Tricks at 4:39, followed by Bobby Price's 6th of the season at 5:40 of this first period. Shots on goal, 11-5 in favor of the visiting Prowlers. And make it 12-5 as Resar tucks that one in. And he has been very solid, Pat, in net for this first period.
Yeah, especially just having to do so much. Already 12 shots on goal, barely halfway through the first period. More busy than his counterpart, Cooper, who let in the 1 goal early but has not been tested too much otherwise.
Fans, don't go anywhere, or you're not going anywhere on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. But second period, we will be joined by the Hat-Tricks GM, AJ Galante, who is the general manager of the Danbury Trashers and the teenager that hired me to call Trashers games back in 2004 alongside his dad, Jimmy Galante. And I'm excited to have AJ, Pat, up here in the booth with us. It should be a lot of fun. We don't have a 7-second delay. Sometimes we need that with AJ. He'll be the first to tell you. But we've got a face-off coming up in the Hat-Trick zone with 7:29 left to play in the first period.
Definitely be nice to have AJ up here with us. Appointment television, some nice stuff for the intermission folks. You maybe go use the bathroom, grab a snack, and come right back for some interview.
Oh, a snack sounds good right about now, I got to say. Favaro with a shot, and that one deflects into the netting. These two teams will battle once again tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Thinking about snacks, if you come out to the game tomorrow afternoon, you could always stop by the TK's Corner and enjoy a cold, frosty one. Also, some really good stuff out on the concourse. As we'll get another face-off here.
Tomorrow's game obviously starting in the afternoon because last night's game canceled because of all the winter weather we had going on.
That was wild.
Tell me about it.
I came down from New Milford. There was not a drop of snow on the ground until I got onto 84. And then by the time I got here, stuck around for about 15 minutes, found out the game was postponed and left. By the time I left, there was about 3 inches of snow on the ground. It was wild. I was here for, it maybe was less than an hour. There's a point shot from Pickford. That gets blocked. Unable to keep it in the zone. Battling is Ruiz against Anderson, and the veteran from New Jersey, the all-time leading scorer in Hat-Tricks history. Made a nice play, doing it on both ends of the ice, and now Ruiz has it. Back over to Tukane. Ian Tukane with some speed through center. Lockney trying to needle him from behind. Regained by Rubtsov, who helped set up the first goal of this game. Shot from the wing is blocked. Regained in front and a shot in on net, and that one was denied as Josh Newberg, the Wagner College product, club hockey back in 2003. Meanwhile, Lockney's shot goes way off the mark, and Rolls all the way out, back into the Port Huron zone. Played side of the net by Resar. Turns it back around to the right side, shoveled back in deep. Graham is there. His pocket picked by Fennell. Now over to Tomasi, and number 93 in the orange and black will drive it in. Lockhart chips that one a little bit too far off the boards. Is a volley. Now to Robinson. He stumbled, regains his footing. Waits and dumps in. Port Huron's done a very good job of getting back in their end. And as the dump in angles off to the goaltender Cooper, who has not seen a lot of action here in this first period.
Phil, just looking over at Resar's net in his area, obviously there's going to be some snow anytime around the crease most periods, but there was a big collection of snow in his area. It just shows how busy that side of the rink has been so far this period. It was smash and grab for the Hat-Tricks, who got that one half chance, and they capitalized on it, but 5:42 left in the first, still tied.
Face off to the right of Cooper with this score still tied at 1. Anderson thrown out of the circle for Port Huron. Vincent DeCumbis will take the draw against Noah Robinson. He battles, wins the face-off. Belfay in deep, pinned to the wall. Lakoff there. Fed it back out to the line, and we get a stoppage in play. The goal knocked off its moorings to the right of Cooper, and will do it once again in the Port Huron zone. Robinson, Lakoff, Belfay, Tukine on the ice. Along with Justin Movali. But it's Port Huron winning the faceoff. Price, who has the goal can clear. Robinson there, fires one, and Cooper makes the save. Lakoff dumps it back in deep. Belfay hustling after it. Now it's Robinson. Rolls it around the boards. Anderson with it first for Port Huron. Send rink wide as they clear. Flipped up the boards. Taken now, DeCumbis, caught off balance. Nice play by Lakoff to get it back out to center. Robinson surrounded by a sea of white and red. And now Anderson with a head of steam across the line. Blows by Belfay, fires a shot, save made. Rebound ricochets all the way back out to center ice. As Graham waiting on the puck along the far boards, flipped it back in. And now off of Graham, he gets cut off. And Movali with it. Now to Pickford. Sent up the middle, and off of the sticking in, off of Kanderka. Racing back for it is Suzinski. Under 4.5 to go in this first period. We saw a lot of action, Pat, earlier in the period. A little bit of a ping pong match here in the last couple of minutes.
Definitely been a little slower on the high end chances.
Suzinski with the shot in on net, and we'll step aside. 4:14 left to play in this first period. It's the Hat-Tricks 1, Port Huron 1 on the Danbury Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Recover with confidence at Hat City Physical Therapy. Personalized care for sports injuries, post-surgical rehabilitation, and chronic conditions. As the official PT provider for the Danbury Hat-Tricks, we specialize in advanced treatments like dry needling, cupping, and KT taping. Visit us online at hatcityphysicaltherapy.com to schedule a consultation. Serving handcrafted drinks, Cash and Live Coffee Creations combine flavor, creativity, and community in every cup. Visit us online at cashandlivecoffee.com or check us out in the Danbury Ice Arena. Cash and Live Coffee Creations, where every sip tells a story. Make your stay comfortable at La Quinta Inn & Suites by Wyndham Danbury. With spacious rooms, free breakfast, and modern amenities, we've got everything you need to relax and recharge. Conveniently located in Danbury, we're perfect for business or leisure travel. Book your stay today at wyndhamhotels.com/La Quinta.
4:14 to play in this first period. Danbury and Port Huron tied at 1. Pat, you had alluded to the earlier matchups this season. Over 150 penalty minutes in one of those games back in October. And so far, a couple of skirmishes, but pretty quiet in that regard here in the first 20 minutes.
Definitely more well-behaved by these standards, I definitely say, Phil.
Pickford tripped up, no penalty there. Meanwhile, Lakoff has it, dangling around, pass in front, he had Ruiz, and fan on the one-timer, as Susinski will gain it back at center ice and lob it in.
I could talk about Legkov all night, but even in just half a space, they're able to make one quick move and centering pass and make something out of nothing.
Now, he was the EHL Player of the Year last year in junior hockey and really has caused a stir in his first season of minor pro. He's got the puck here, and he can dangle through lots of guys as he looks to spin around Price, drops that back off, cutting toward the net and broken up, but regained at the line and shoveled back down by Tukane. Behind the goal, spins a pass out in front, and got a man down in behind the Prowlers net, and we'll see if they will whistle a penalty, but one of the Port Huron players appears to be struggling at the moment, and we'll see if the trainer comes out to have a look. Slow to get up to their feet, number 75, that is Timothy Organ, the Lambertsville, Michigan native. And the Prowlers trainer now to come out and have a look. And this is a league where you only dress 16, so any injuries, and as it stands, Port Huron only brought 16 skaters. So if they lose somebody, they are short.
Especially think about Federley playing defense tonight, who's, as you said earlier, Phil, a natural forward and doesn't have the typical size of a defenseman. Oregon, much bigger guy. So if you're down to 4, maybe 5, 4.5 true defensemen, that could be a problem for this Prowlers team.
Indeed. Well, he's able to get back under his own power. We'll see if he goes. I didn't see him run back to the room. Maybe just, and you hope it's nothing more than like the wind getting knocked out of you or something not terribly serious. Maybe sit a shift or two and maybe even the rest of the period and then come back strong for the second.
Seems like that's just the case. He's now on the bench, no movement, headed towards the locker room.
Newberg losing the face-off for Danbury. Prowlers with it through center. Dumped in along the near wing boards. Played briefly behind the net by the goalkeeper, Resar. Now coming over, Newberg again. Tracked down along the right wing boards. Tomasi with it. And flipped in. Coming around along the far wing is Tukane as he couldn't get to it. Now played back out Bizal. And Bizal, whose sister is in the PWHL in her second season, won a national championship with Ohio State. But meanwhile, here come the hat tricks through as it's flipped in by Caden Fennell. Belfay looking to lead the forecheck. Has some help from Legkoff. Legkoff battling, got it to the right side. Robinson is shot, tipped just wide by Belfay in front. It's a good look by Noah Robinson. He's got the puck again. Turns, shoots, blocked. Port Huron doing a good job of getting bodies out in front of shots. They are out chancing Danbury 13-9 unofficially in this first period as Favaro down the right side has it moved away by Justin Movalli. And now Movalli with it, looking ahead for Belfay. Looks to chip it past Graham, kept alive in the zone. Robinson's got it, and he'll flip it back out to center ice as R2 Hakala feeds it back to Alex Johnson in his own zone. Up the middle to Lockney. Spins around. Under 145 left to play in the first. A 1-1 game between the hat tricks and Port Huron. Entertaining, and a diving play by Robinson to get that out to center. Federley tries to weave around traffic. Got it to DeCumbus. Work back to the line. Price there, the goal scorer for Port Huron, and he'll reverse back to Federley in his own zone. 80 seconds to play in this first frame. Don't forget, second period, AJ Galanti joins us, the Hat Tricks general manager. We'll talk a little bit about this club and how they're looking to put the ship back together after some rough games against Binghamton. It's really, how do you beat Binghamton at this point in the season? Perhaps Port Huron as well. They are 0-2 against them. Final minute here in the first period. Loose out in front. Parsons kept it alive. To the right side, Lockhart a shot, knocked in front. Puck side of the net, a tie up there. Price feeds it back to the line. Parsons shoots again, and Resar hangs on for his 14th save of this first period. Oh, and we got a little bit of tempers flaring. Price took a little bit of a shove to the head at the end of that play. Justin Movalli, the 6'2 defender from Gloucester, Mass, trying to get the hearts and minds of this Hat-Tricks team going.
Yeah, you see Kandrika just going in towards Price's face there, getting him away from the crease, and going to get a reaction anytime you do that. They're just protecting his goal, I think.
No, Kandrika, another big boy from Salve Regina, 6'4", 205 pounds for the Calgary native. Ruiz and Graham on the faceoff. Won by the Hat-Tricks. Susinski, the goal scorer for Danbury. Knocks it back out to the left side. Flipped in across the line by Rupsoff. Meanwhile, Lakoff trying to get back to it. Linesman got hit and took a spill. Final 30 seconds of this first period. Here comes Port Huron across the line. A little bit of a seam and a shot in on goal and a good save made. Nice stretch down the right wing by Arttu Heikkila, the Finland native.
See the replay back behind the play where the referee took a little spill there with Rupsoff colliding in along the half wall. And going back the other way, a lot of room for Port Huron to just go right on in on goal, and got a lucky bounce there. Puck just plopped right on top of the goal. Much needed whistle with 23 left in the first.
Got to keep your head on a swivel even if you're a linesman in this game. Face off to the right of Resar. Taken away, and now out to center is Rupsoff. Rupsoff set up the game's first goal. Flips that ahead. Here's Lakoff. Lakoff looks in front. Robinson was cutting to the net, couldn't get to that shot. Meanwhile, with under 10 seconds to play, it is dumped in. Johnny Ruiz battling. Hammer Jones along the wall. Now Bucell to Parsons. The horn sounds, and that would not have counted. And we are 20 minutes into this contest, and we are even at one apiece. Solid 20 minutes for both clubs.
Yeah, Port Huron definitely leading offensively with almost double the shots to the Hat-Tricks 9 unofficially. But the Hat-Tricks got the quick goal early. I think they're happy to be 1-1 at the break. So plenty of action in the second period, plenty of action in the first intermission too. Like you said, Phil, we'll have AJ up here in a little bit, and we'll be lucky to have him for a little while. So go grab a snack, come back in a little bit, and get some first intermission action here.
After 20 minutes of play, it is Danbury 1, Port Huron 1. You are watching Hat-Tricks Hockey on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Dreaming of your next getaway? Let Expedia Cruises Brookfield turn that dream into reality. Our local travel experts offer personalized planning for cruises, all-inclusive resorts, escorted tours, and more. Whether you're seeking a tropical escape or a European adventure, we've got you covered. Visit ExpediaCruises.com to start planning today. At Golf Lounge 18, we deliver state-of-the-art virtual golf fun in Danbury and throughout Connecticut. Equipped with TrackMan 4 technology, our bays allow golfers to play real courses indoors. Reserve your bay or learn more at golflounge18.com. Golf Lounge 18, real golf all year round. Step into Gray Scent Boutique and Candle Bar, where style and creativity come together. Browse our curated finds, enjoy permanent jewelry, or craft your own custom scented candle. Located in Bethel, Connecticut, we're the perfect spot for gifts, gatherings, and unforgettable experiences. Visit grayscent.com for more information. Got a leak, clog, or plumbing problem you can't ignore? Call Hope Plumbing, your trusted local experts for fast, reliable service. Located in Prospect, Connecticut, help is just a call away. Visit thehopecos.com or call 203-663-3223 today to learn more. Because when it comes to plumbing, there's always hope. Building something great starts with the right materials. At Kellogg Hardwood Lumber, we supply premium hardwoods, custom millwork, and quality lumber for builders, craftsmen, and DIYers alike. Located in Bethel, Connecticut, we're your trusted source for strength, beauty, and reliability in every project. Visit KelloggHardwoods.com today. Stay warm this winter with Mitchell Oil. From heating oil and propane delivery to HVAC installation and service, we offer comprehensive solutions for homes and businesses. With automatic delivery options, flexible pricing plans, and 24/7 emergency service, Mitchell Oil ensures your comfort year-round. Visit Mitchell.com to become a customer today. Mitchell Oil, ready to serve you. When disaster strikes, Paul Davis is here to help. We provide fast and reliable restoration services from properties damaged by water, fire, mold, or storms, serving both homes and businesses with 24/7 emergency response. Check us out online at pauldavis.com to find a location near you. Looking for a premier golfing experience? Visit Richter Park Golf Course, the #2 public course in the New York metro area. With 4 sets of tees, we challenge golfers of all skill levels. Open daily, Richter Park offers competitive rates and online tee time reservations. Visit richterpark.com to book your round today. Bring back your curb appeal with Rinse and Wash Pressure Washing. From driveways and decks to siding and storefronts, we make your surfaces shine like new. Our team delivers fast, professional results you can count on. Visit rinseandwashct.com today to schedule your clean, because a fresh look starts with a rinse and wash. Stacy's Totally Baked crafts freshly baked goods daily, from cookies and cupcakes to signature cakes for every occasion. Based in Ridgefield, we serve local cafes, cater events, and accept custom orders. Visit stacystotallyBaked.com to browse our menu and place your order. Stacy's Totally Baked, where every bite is made with love. Hungry for a steak? Come to Texas Roadhouse for hand-cut steaks, fall-off-the-bone ribs, and made-from-scratch sides in a fun, family-friendly setting. Whether you're dining in or ordering to go, Texas Roadhouse offers legendary food and service. For more information, visit texasroadhouse.com/Danbury. At Ventura Law, we speak your language, know your culture, and understand your story. For over 65 years, we've been fighting for the rights of injured individuals across Connecticut and New York. Our compassionate bilingual attorneys guide you through every step, making sure your voice is heard. Visit venturalaw.com for a free consultation. Ventura Law, justice you can trust. Transform your outdoor space with Yard Goats Landscaping, located in Bethel, Connecticut. From spring cleanups and tree work to custom patios, fencing, and masonry, we're your one-stop shop for all things landscaping. Visit yardgoats.io for a free consultation. Yard Goats Landscaping, where your dream yard becomes reality. Need reliable equipment for your next project? Turn to Decker Tool Rental. With locations in Danbury, Bridgeport, and beyond, we offer a full range of rental tools and heavy machinery. Whether you're a contractor or DIYer, our knowledgeable staff ensures you get the right gear for the job. Visit DeckerCatRentalStore.com today. Looking to upgrade your ride or home? Choose Emerald Tint, your premier window tinting masters for Fairfield County. Whether it's automotive, residential, commercial, or marine tinting, we use high-quality ceramic films for superior heat rejection, UV protection, and enhanced privacy. Visit emeraldtint.com today. Raise a glass to great beer at Charter Oak Brewing Company, located here in Danbury. Enjoy 10 rotating drafts, live local music, and a shaded beer garden perfect for your next event. Visit us online at charteroakbrewing.com to learn more.
Remember when a night out didn't break the bank? When fun was simple, social, and full of laughter? Bowling is still that place. Affordable, timeless, and made for everyone. Get more laughs per dollar bowling at Spins Bowl.
And welcome back to the Danbury Ice Arena as we get set for the second period here. The Hat-Tricks and the Prowlers are tied at 1. First period shots, Port Huron 17 and the Hat-Tricks 9. Port Huron 0 for 1 on the power play, and the Hat-Tricks still looking for their first man advantage. As we get set for the second period, Phil Jubileo on hand, and A.J. Galante, the general manager of the Hat-Tricks. And over 20 years ago, A.J. hired me to be the voice of the Danbury Trashers, and I think this is the first time we've ever talked on a broadcast like this. I know we've been on the old Ice Wars broadcast together, but this is the first time we've talked during a hockey game.
Yeah, this is, it's always deja vu coming in here, but I'm getting some real weird deja vu hearing your voice here. It's the voice of Danbury hockey. Great to have you back, pal.
Oh, I'm excited to have you up here. I saw you talking with Johnny the Garbage Man.
Yes.
On the other side of the rink. I'm like, the Trashers bus driver is here. I mean, it's just a fitting night, and good crowd here after yesterday with the snow out, and that'll be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And I was here. I got here and was here for about 10 minutes before I got the word that the game was postponed. And it took me a normal amount of time to get here and about an hour and change to get back to New Milford. Like snowing 2-3 inches an hour. Meanwhile, second period is underway. We're going to spend a bit of time talking about this Hat-Tricks team, AJ, that you have put together, and you're trying to kind of retool things much like you did last season after a little bit of a slow start, as Bucell drops that back as the Prowlers come in across the line. Good work by Pickford to tie up Brett Morick along the side of the net. And regained by the Hat-Tricks back along the near side. Robinson out to center ice. His pocket pick. Morick will flip it in over the head of Pickford. And Resar will settle that down here in this opening minute. The goals back in the first period coming 61 seconds apart. Susinski got the Hat-Tricks on the board with his second of the year. And then Price tied it at 5:40 as Pickford looking for Lakehoff in front. Pass is broken up. And now they come through center, led by Heikkila. R2 Heikkila from Finland as it is chipped out to center. Favaro is there, and he'll drive that in. Back along the near side, Pickford. A lot of action here in this second period. Ahead to Austin. Belfay does get a clear. And the Prowlers will reset. Favaro in across the line, looking out in front. Broken up as Anderson tried to get to it. Now Danbury plays it out through center ice. A bit of speed in across the line with it is Fennell. Fennell in the corner. Poked away from him. Lakehoff moves it back to Belfay. This is the top line on the ice as Robinson trying to move to the slot. It's loose. Lakehoff couldn't get to the forehand for a shot. Broken up nicely as it's back along the near side. Flipped cross ice and tracked down by Alex Johnson. So AJ, what have we seen aside from this Hat-Tricks team being able to beat just about anyone in the league other than Binghamton? And in that Empire division, you have to get through Binghamton if you're going to get back to the finals.
Yeah, we have not solved that Rubik's Cube yet. You know what I mean? And, they as a baseball fan yourself, they remind me a lot of the 98 Yanks right now. They're rolling. Port Huron right here, I mean, this is a great measuring stick for us to see kind of where we're at roster-wise. And, today and tomorrow will be good. And, it's a very challenging league. It's a very much a win-now league, but also you got to think for the future. So it's very difficult. A lot of differences from 20 years ago.
There's Susinski with a shot that got steered aside by Cooper, who was brilliant in that opening weekend sweep of the Hat-Trick. Stopped 85 of 86 shots. One of those games a shutout win as Resar, who is now the number one netminder on this Hat-Tricks team, will settle things down as we approach 3 minutes gone by in this second period, a 1-1 game. As it's dumped in, Johnny Ruiz looking to track it down. Forced away from him by Lockhart. Good hit there by Movali. Meanwhile, back in the corner with it is Ruiz. 2 goals away from 200 in the Fed. For him is Ruiz, the all-time leading Hat-Trick scorer. Moves it back to the right side. And now dumped in by Ian Tukane. Back to Lakehoff, who was looking in front. And forced off the far boards. And Tukane will settle in at the center line and drive it back into Port Huron territory. Lockhart moves it ahead for Heikkila, deflecting it by Pickford. No icing here. Pickford back for it. Shots are 17-10 in favor of the Prowlers. Prowlers coming in off a 7-1 win against the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Meanwhile, good work by Lakehoff Tried to get to that in the corner. Price, who has the goal, drops it back off for James. Ahead now for Anderson. Coming off a 4-point game against Blue Ridge. Taken away at the line. Pass ahead. And it didn't quite reach Tomasi as along the right side, Alex Johnson dropped that back off. Loose puck at center. Hustling after it. And that one is played back across to the far wing boards as Ian Tukane dumps that in. Cooper slows it back down and regained by Nick Favaro. Up to James now. Good work on the forecheck by Josh Newberg, and out across the line, chipped over. There's a shot and deflected on its way through. That was Tukane trying to put it in on goal. Well, so far here in the second period, the Hat-Tricks really have done a solid job, AJ, as we get an icing here, of limiting what Port Huron has been able to do in regards to moving the puck up and down the ice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, week by week, trying to, the coaching staff with strategy or systems, or, even myself with just personnel, how can we, I think we're going 11 forwards, 5 defense today. Sometimes we go 6 defense. So it really depends. Just, again, Port's had some success dating back to late last year with us. So just, again, trying to solve these Rubik's Cubes.
Right off the draw, regained by Bucell. A little tie up at the top of the circle. And coming over now, Suzinski. Well, that's one of the recent acquisitions for this Danbury Hat-Tricks team, AJ, and picked up his second goal to open the scoring, but he's got that really good size. I've been very impressed with his play.
He's a big boy, and he's been off a few months, and we were lucky to grab him a few weeks ago, and he's getting to it.
14:58 left to play here in the second period. It's a 1-1 game. We'll be back after this on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Looking for top quality meats? Omaha Beef Company is your go-to wholesale food distributor. We carry a wide selection of beef, poultry, pork, cheeses, and pantry staples. Visit omahabeefcompany.com to learn more. Omaha Beef Company, serving Connecticut with quality you can count on. Is joint pain slowing you down? At Ortho Connecticut, our team of expert orthopedic surgeons and specialists get you back to doing what you love pain-free. From sports injuries to joint replacement, we offer advanced care close to home. Visit myorthoct.com to schedule your appointment today. Looking for a brighter smile? Stony Hill Dental Care offers comprehensive dental services, including sedation, cosmetic, and preventive care. Schedule your appointment today at stonyhilldental.com. Stony Hill Dental Care, where your smile comes first. Get your tickets fast and easy at Tixer.com, the official ticketing partner of the Danbury Hat-Tricks. We make it simple to buy, sell, and manage tickets. Get your tickets today at Tixer.com and cheer on your Danbury Hat-Tricks.
Back at the DIA with 14:58 left to play in the second period. 1-1 game on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. Phil Jubileo, AJ Galante joining me for the second period. Thank you to AJ and also to Herm for allowing me the opportunity to call this weekend's games. And a bigger thank you perhaps to Doug Latuca for getting a gig in the National Hockey League.
Yeah.
Because he had been here for the last couple of years. An outstanding job as the voice of the Hat-Tricks as it's played back out to the point. Lockhart is shot in traffic. Good glove save made by Resar as he holds on. And it was great to see Doug kind of grow for his first job out of college and get to a point where he's a broadcast assistant with both the NHL and AHL teams in the Vegas area. And after watching the snow yesterday, I mean, you can't beat the weather out there, right?
Oh, I'm sure he's looking back, giggling a little bit.
I'm sure. Is off the draw. Lockhart moves it across to the left point. Shot in off the boards. Played back to the half wall by Fennell as it's loose out in front. And a deflection. Lockhart can't keep it in the zone. Here come the Hat-Tricks looking for numbers. Pamaleon moves it across to the right side. There's a shot, and it is gloved and held on to as it was off the stick of Jordan Crom, the Calgary native from the University of Johnstown. And face-off will come in the Port Huron zone with 14:24 left to go in this second period. And that's part of it, right? The Federal Prospects Hockey League, it's not about growing the players to hopefully get to the next level, whether it's the SPHL or the ECHL, but also for people within the organization to move up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very much entry-level pro for everybody. And, it's bittersweet sometimes seeing a player or employee leave, but it's part of the business.
Back in the corner, Favaro trying to advance it ahead. Alex Johnson got it across the line. That would have been offside, but touched up here by the Prowlers. Johnson moving it up along the boards, deflecting in. Anderson has it. He is fronted and taken away by Alex Legkoff. Legkoff an assist back in the first period, continuing his dynamic offensive season, leading the Federal League in goals. Long pass ahead, finding Ruiz, makes a move, back to the forehand, a shot, he draws the penalty. And the Hat-Tricks finally, with 6:13 played in the second period, will go on the power play. An outstanding move by Johnny Ruiz to draw the call. Well, sometimes you got to put the game on your captain's stick, AJ, and right there, Alex Johnson to the box here for the Prowlers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Johnny, I call him the face of the place. He's just, what a warrior, man. He is absolutely what a captain's all about.
6:13, time of the penalty on Alex Johnson. So we will see the Hat-Tricks go to the power play for the first time. And their power play has not been a strong suit so far. Here's Ruiz with it along the half wall. They were 1 for 8 in that loss up at Binghamton. And for this season, they are 11th in the league at 14.9% on the power play as Austin Belfay drops that back off for Pickford. Working along the line into the half wall for Ruiz. Now down off the boards. Belfay tried to chip it far post side. Didn't get everything on it. And a desperation clear by the Prowlers as Port Huron able to get that out of the zone and work it back in from behind their net. Driven off the glass and through by Lockhart. And Resar will settle it down once again for Austin Pickford, the Leduc, Alberta native. Sent up the middle. Rupsov, the Russian, in across the line from the right side, dumped off the glass. Played along the half boards from Dudo to Pickford. Pickford turns and shoots, ricochets it wide. And Rupsov back with it. Finds Belfay. Now to Robinson. He's open, a shot, and that one blockered away. Cooper got a piece of it and now sent all the way through. A couple of good looks, AJ, on the power play.
Yeah, it's coming together. Like you said, we've been struggling all year, but again, finding some pieces, and they're all starting to gel a little. Just can't cash in yet.
Here come the Hat-Tricks again, looking to snap the 1-1 tie. Too far for Legkoff. Short-handed Price. Taken away by Robinson and Suzinski. Oh, it looked like he was going to take that behind the net. Instead, it's Fronduda out to center ice. Moving it through. Back over to the left for Robinson. Shot sticked away by Cooper. Robinson's got it back. Off his skate. Shadowed well. Legkoff there. Final 10 left in the penalty against Port Huron. And it stayed along the boards. Robinson couldn't keep it in. The Hat-Tricks now 0 for 1 in the man advantage with the game tied at 1. Long pass finds Legkoff. Looks to chip it out in front. Over to Pamaleon, and that one didn't hit the net. It goes into the netting as the Hat-Trick had numbers looking to snap the tie and unable to get the go-ahead goal. Well, that was a good look at the end of the penalty. A moment to just draw some numbers. And Pamaleon, not a guy that scores a ton of goals on this team, and had an opportunity. Cooper sealed off the near post side pretty well. Face off to the right of Cooper. Good hit there. Johnson taken out. There's a chance.
Yes!
They score! Pandurka from the right wing circle got through traffic, and the Hat-Tricks lead it 2-1.
Well, that's how we're going to score. It's got to be gritty, not pretty, Phil. I tell people that's where that's his bread and butter. This young kid, I love Kandurka. He's starting to really come together.
Now the rookie out of Calgary, Alberta, brings the size at 6'4", and his third goal of the season to snap the 1-1 tie. So the Hat-Tricks find themselves back on top, but the shift after, which kind of hurt them in the first period when they took the 1-0 lead on the Suzinski goal. Port Huron came right back just over a minute later, and they talk about what's called the vulnerable minute, usually the first shift after a goal, and it can go in either direction, either the team that's ahead or the team that's behind. And The case of the first period, it was Port Huron getting a quick equalizer. So we'll see what the Hat-Tricks can do here in the moments after snapping that 1-1 tie. Meanwhile, Bucelt with a shot. That one saved and bobbled a bit. A lot of traffic out in front, and it got dumped in. A mass of bodies in front of the goaltender, and the official never blew the whistle. It was never clearly controlled, and just like that, Port Huron has tied the game. And that is a heartbreaker, AJ, if you're a Hat-Tricks fan.
Yeah, it's just frustrating. Frustrating. Young guys out there, and you gotta play to the whistle. You know, tough one to go. But that's Port Huron and Danbury hockey right there. It's never going to be easy.
We'll see who they give that to. The celebration line had Luke James leading the way, and we'll see if that holds. The second Danbury goal was Kandurka from Crom and Pamaleon. But just like that, it's a 2-2 game, and this one comes just 44 seconds after the go-ahead goal by the Hat-Tricks. As it's held in, Rupsoff shot off the wall and flipped out to center ice by Federley, regained by Ruiz, glides across the line, he shoots one, and Cooper is able to make the stop, and a face-off coming in the Port Huron zone. So that goal was scored by Luke James. They're calling it unassisted for now. I mean, honestly, AJ, from my perspective, I couldn't see who was touching that puck. It was just a mass of bodies in front of Resar, and it's just a tough break. And you talked about how Kandurka, kind of in that golden road, from the hash marks on in, that time from the midpoint of the circle. And that's how Port Huron got it. They got a greasy goal, and sometimes that's how you have to put points on the board.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of similarities between us and Port, and it's always a dogfight.
Meanwhile, here come the Hat-Tricks led by Sosinski, as it was across the line briefly. Now Lucas Lockney, who's been a dynamic offensive force on this team, looking to advance it a little bit too far up the boards. Hat-Tricks look to play it across the line. Rupsoff will deliver that puck in. Cooper settling it down for Alex Johnson as we're now halfway through regulation with the game tied at 2. Puck dumped in off his skate. Dropped back off. Played rink wide. Stolen. There's a shot from the left circle on its way in by Hakela, but it goes out of play. And we've got 9:48 left to go here in the second period. We will step aside. It's a 2-2 game on the Danbury Hat-Tricks digital network.
Fire up your appetite with Twins Barbecue Company. Smoked meats, bold flavors, and barbecue that brings people together. Stop by for ribs, brisket, wings, and more in Brookfield. Visit twinsbbqco.com to view our menu, order online, or find our next food truck stop. Twins Barbecue. There's nothing better than smoking hot Twins. Looking to make your brand stand out? Vision Designs in Brookfield has you covered. From custom screen printing and embroidery to eye-catching signs, banners, and promotional products, they bring your ideas to life with unmatched quality and service. Visit VisionDesignCT.com. Vision Designs, where your vision becomes reality. Looking to elevate your night out? At Illicit Brewing Company, we feature a beer hall, cocktail bar, arcade, lounge, and private event space. Enjoy a diverse menu, live music, trivia nights, and more. Visit illicitbrewing.com/Danbury for more information.
Back here on the Hat-Tricks digital network. 2-2 game with 9:48 to play in the second. Phil Jubileo, AJ Galante with you. AJ, I remember the second season of Danbury Trashers hockey. Danbury, I don't think it was their second season opener, but they opened Port Huron's home schedule.
Yes.
That second year on the road. And I remember very distinctly when they almost had to postpone the game because of the ice. And they were working on the ice here, just a little divot. But they had one of those on-ice signs.
Yes.
And there was a warm-up or something going on, and they stopped the game for about 45 minutes, and they put cones in on the ice around one of these on-ice signs so that the ice would refreeze.
Was that the Port Huron Flags at the time? Were they the Flags? I feel like they rebranded.
That might have been the first season of the Flags. I know the first year of the Trashers, they were the Beacon.
Yes.
And David Beauregard played for that Beacons team. He was like the big player on that team before he went to Roanoke the next year, and then Danbury traded for him, of course. One-Eyed Willie, as you have coined him, as there's a chance in the slot. Good save made off the shot by Brett Morick. But yeah, that was one of the wilder moments. And when, I learned I was calling the games here this weekend and that I was Port Huron, that was the first thing that came to my mind.
That's funny.
Was that delay on the ice. Because, quite frankly, this is a good Port Huron team. Those teams back then were not.
Oh, yeah.
Those are not good Port Huron hockey teams way back in the day.
No, those were some layup games. These ones are more, these are dog fights for sure.
It is, and it is so interesting to see some of those, U-Haul cities playing in this league. And then even some other cities like Binghamton, which was an American Hockey League team for so long. And I called a lot of games in the AHL in that building. And there's a chance out in front. Great save made. Oh, what a big stop from point-blank range by Resar. Now here come the hat tricks the other way. Lakoff trying to move it to the slot. He couldn't get the shot off. As back the other way come the Port Huron Prowlers. It's Anderson. Eyeballs the net, and he didn't miss by much. Was looking far post side and missed grazing that post by a couple of inches as Alex Johnson drives that puck up the near wing side. And Valley trying to dump it in as we've got some open ice here between these two teams. It's Graham now and offside, and that slows it down for a moment. We're having fun making fun of Port Huron's old McMorran Place, which is still where they play those games so many years later.
Well, great minor league city. And like you said, coming back after all these years, like you said, seeing some of the old cities and, you got Muskegon in I think the USHL junior.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just funny to see where some of these cities went.
Yeah, most of those cities still have teams, whether it's like, the Fed, and there's a chance in front. Good shot in on goal. Loose in front, and they look to jam it in, and they do. That is a goal. Lockney right by the near post side. The net is able to dump that in, and Port Huron leads 3-2. Lockney stayed with that puck right by the side of the net. Now, he's not celebrating. He was the one right by the near post side. Along with him was Graham, and we'll see who they credit the last touch to. Either way, it is a 3-2 lead here for Port Huron.
Got to clear that net. I'd like to see a replay or something. Challenge? Do we have challenges in this league? I don't even, you'd think I'd know that one.
You are the GM, AJ.
I know.
You should know that.
I know.
I don't
know if we even have the angles, so I don't know if you know if it matters.
There's no overhead angle, and because of that, and meanwhile, Johnny Ruiz is talking with the referee, and he's going to go back to the bench and talk with head coach Sean Bierchin.
Guess they are challenging it.
Yeah, they're going to look at it. I don't know what perspective or better perspective they are going to have. Whatever perspective they have, I don't believe we're going to have it here on the broadcast for you. You will get that replay with a massive humanity, but they are challenging it, as we mentioned, and they will look at that video. Yeah, from our angle, AJ, it's hard to tell.
It'll be tough to overturn that one.
Unless they've got a better look. It should be the go-ahead goal here. It would be the first lead of the game for Port Huron, as they have scored, for the moment, a pair of unanswered goals. So they'll continue to look at it. So AJ, what else do you have going on? Obviously, you've got this with the hat tricks, and then you got the boxing gym. How's the boxing going?
It's going, man. Yep, calling a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a little bit of this, little bit of that. Between, I'm spoiled between my boxing gym being 2 minutes away and the arena here. Live like 3 minutes away. I'm very. I planned it all out perfectly, Phil.
You did, absolutely.
It's just a big triangle.
So that is a good goal. There is a penalty at the end of the sequence. So a delay of game on the lost challenge. and it will be a power play opportunity for this Port Huron team, and that is the risk when you challenge a play like that and you lose. You get a power play opportunity against, and Lakehoff's going to serve it. So bench-minor for delay a game on the challenge. It'll be the second power play here for the Port Huron squad, 12-13, or 12-12. Time of the penalty on Danbury, also the time of the goal for Port Huron. It was 0 for 1 on the man advantage in this game. They do give the goal to Hakala. He is the one credited for now. So we've got Port Huron, a team that went 4 for 12 in their last game on the power play, 0 for 1 tonight. Federally cross-ice pass, there's his shot off mark, and back to the line for Federally. Just a 5'6" defenseman in this game, but he's quarterbacking the power play. Center point shot from Johnson, backhand try was blocked, and now flipped out of the zone and cleared by the Hat-Tricks all the way through, as we've got 7 minutes left in the second period and 1:12 remaining in the Danbury bench minor. Here's Nicholas Favaro. Robinson on the penalty kill for the Hat-Tricks. At center ice, Anderson blows right by him into the Danbury zone. Works it back out to the line. Favaro racing in, his shot, good save is made. And now chipped down the boards. Regained by Susinski from behind his net, whips it up the wall, kept alive by Lockhart. Price with it in the corner. He has the first goal of this game for Port Huron. Back out to Favaro, left side. To the line for Lockhart. Over to the right side for Price, and now back to the point. Lockhart able to keep it in. Under 30 seconds left in the Danbury bench minor, trailing a goal. Meanwhile, Fennell in the corner, leads it up the boards, and flipped out to center ice, and Belfay, well, he thought about hustling it down, instead comes off on a change. As Lockhart, with 10 seconds remaining in the penalty against Danbury, will bring it out through center. There comes Lockhart in across the line, moves it back out to the left side. Bizal whips that back around, and it's back to 5-on-5. So Port Huron 0 for 2 on the power play. They lead 3-2. Shot goes wide. Lakehoff, who served the bench minor, unable to get the puck out of the zone. Bucell tried to dump it down, cleared ahead. Regained by Bizal as he'll drive across ice. Suzinski fends off his man with the body. Puck is cleared all the way through. We may see an icing here. We do. And with 5:22 remaining in this second period, face-off will come back the other way. Well, AJ, what if you were to, and you've seen obviously all of these games from this team, playing from behind has not been a strong suit for this Danbury team. What can they do against this Port Huron squad to try to, I think back to how they would look to mentally get back in this game at this point?
Yeah, I just, throw the body, just keep plugging away. I mean, can't feel sorry for ourselves. And, again, these young guys sometimes mentally it takes a toll on them. But, we have some good vets that kind of keeps them focused, and just got to keep putting pucks on net.
Lakehoff was looking for Frandudo. He couldn't get the shot on net. Now back to the near side. Across the line is Pickford. He's got speed. Pickford makes a nice move, but then has his pocket picked. Back to the line, Kandrika has the second goal for this Hat-Tricks team. We'll swing it back in as we're under 5 minutes to go, and it took a funny bounce off the corner, and the net front was left open for a moment, but no one there for Danbury. As Pamelayan to Lakehoff, toe drag, backhand shot, big save from Cooper. That was a filthy move by Lakehoff, looking for the equalizer, but we have a timeout. 4:38 to go here in the second. It's 3-2 Port Huron on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Start your morning off right at Grounds Donut House. Enjoy our oversized artisanal donuts paired with premium coffee. For a unique treat, don't miss our ice cream-filled donuts. If you're looking for a sweet way to kick off your day, visit us in Danbury or check us out online at groundsdonuthouse.com/Danbury. Looking for great craft beer and live music? Visit Housatonic River Brewing in New Milford. Enjoy handcrafted ales in our rustic tap room or outdoor beer garden along the scenic Housatonic River. We're open Wednesday through Sunday with live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Check out our full schedule and offerings at HousatonicRiverBrewing.com. Looking for reliable waste management? Choose Interstate Waste Services, your local family-owned provider since 1998. We provide comprehensive waste and recycling solutions for homes and businesses with a commitment to sustainability and community. For more information, visit interstatewaste.com.
4:38 to play here in the second period on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. Port Huron now with a 3-2 lead over the Danbury Hat-Tricks. Face-off will be in the Port Huron zone. Top line on for the Hat-Tricks. Belfay along with Robinson and Legkoff. And the Hat-Tricks win the draw. Out to the point, shot was blocked. And regained by Legkoff, who had that gorgeous move right before the last media timeout, nearly tied the game off his own stick. He's good for one or two plays like that a game.
He wanted that one.
Often he finishes. That was a great save from Cooper. Meanwhile, Belfay pokes that back to Legkoff. He goes cross ice. On the pass with it is Tukane. Delivers it in, and the Hat-Tricks will go to work on the forecheck. Legkoff, good hustle to get back after it. On the boards, Belfay. Back out, Legkoff there to the line. Pickford makes a move, tries to fight through the body of Anderson. Lost the puck to Alex Johnson. Johnson turns it back to the forehand. Anderson a clear. And then dumped down to the ice was Bizal by Tukane. As the Hat-Tricks Robinson regains it deep in his own zone. And here comes Danbury now from right to left. And taking a spill was Kandrika. That allows Port Huron to regroup. Bucel deflects it in. Regained. Mistimed puck handling here from Danbury. As Bucel will deliver that puck in. Back in the corner, Tukane. Tukane with it. Takes it out to center ice. Moves it back over to the left side and then played ahead. James lost it just inside the blue line. Here comes the Hat-Tricks. The shovel pass along the far boards ends up coming back the other way into Danbury territory. Suzinski, good speed down the left side, looking short side. Cooper the save. Turned on the Jets for a big boy, AJ. He can really move a bit on the skates.
He's a freak. Can really play, can skate, can be physical, good shot. Starting to gel here.
Yeah, he's one of those potential difference maker players on this Hat-Tricks roster when you look at what he can do. Big hit there along the near boards. That wakes the crowd up as Lockney try to advance toward the net. Banked off the glass to center, and Federley there with 2:25 to go in the middle period. Lockney in across the Danbury line. Shot from the circle. It goes off of the blocker of Resar. Graham along the right wing, looking to center in front. He gets stripped. Now Pamelayon over Legkoff, dancing. Oh, tried to toe drag that, and he lost the puck. It now allows Graham to come back the other way. Drop pass. There's a shot in on goal, and that one shoveled ahead. Legkoff off his glove. Sharp shot from the circle was turned aside by Resar. And along the near wing, Rupsoff there as he advances it, but right back to Port Huron as we're down to 1:45 to go in the second period. Ian Tukane. Tukane to center. Got tucked along the wall by Price, dumped in, played by Cooper. Gives it over for Favaro. Advancing it, Anderson nearly had that one coughed up, but there is Fennell to shovel it back in. Nice fast pace between these two teams here in the second period, but the result of it, a pair of unanswered goals after Danbury briefly had a 2-1 lead, and it's now Port Huron up by a tally here, 3-2. 70 seconds to go in the period. Anderson in behind the net, looked to drop it off. The last couple of goals scored by Port Huron, just masses of humanity in front of the net to get first the equalizer and then the go-ahead goal, which is credited to Artur's Hekala. And now down to 50 seconds to go in this period. Puck turned over. There's a shot. That one came in high, right off of the stick. Back along the near wing. They battle with under 40 seconds to play. Chipped in behind. Bucel back out to the line. Over now for Lockhart. Backdoor pass. Bucel had his stick lifted. Good defense there by the defender, Caden Fennell. And now here comes Danbury with it across the line, out to the right circle, and that one is a penalty behind the play with under 16 seconds to go in the period, and they are going to send Caden Fennell to the box. Looks like a holding penalty. That's a tough break for the Hat-Tricks, AJ.
Yeah, again, Port, what I love about Port, if I'm being, neutral, is they could get under your skin and they find ways to draw penalties. I think, I'm sure there's a stat for it. They draw a lot of penalties, and they do a good job with that.
They also lead the Federal League in penalty minutes with 868.
Yeah.
Coming into the game tonight, almost double what the Hat-Tricks have. So a lot of that, like you said, under the skin type penalties. There's a big blast, blocked. Federal League backdoor in front. Oh my goodness.
God.
What a glove save. An amazing stop by Resar to keep it a 1-goal game.
Send that to Sports Center.
Wow, take a quick look here on the replay. Yeah, flashing the leather. That was right by. Little quick pass in the slot, right by the far goalpost side. Not a close-up angle of that, but it remains 3-2 with 51 seconds left in the penalty on the Hat-Tricks, which will carry over to the third period as the horn sounds, ending the second period of play. Well, AJ, you got to come up here and see a lot in this second period.
Yeah, that period flew.
Yep, and unfortunately for the Hat-Tricks, it was a couple of goals by the Prowlers, who now lead Danbury 3-2 after 40 minutes of play. Before we let you go, AJ, got to throw out the socials. You do a ton of stuff on social media, particularly Instagram. It's always a lot of fun. Your fight reviews are the best in the game. They really are. And just tell folks at home how they can go and watch some of those as well as your podcast.
Oh, add DB Trashers on Instagram or add official AJ Galante. I don't even know my personal one. But follow the Hat-Tricks, and I appreciate you always, Phil. We'll have to do this again.
Absolutely. Well, AJ Galante, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to step aside and we'll have the third period in just a bit. We'll see if the Hat-Tricks can turn it around here at home tonight. It's 3-2. Port Huron leading on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Hatrix fans, my name is Lexi Berkey. I'm here with our head coach, John Biershin, for another episode of The Coaches Show. John, how you doing this week?
Much better. We are on a 4-game win streak, and that always makes things a lot nicer around here.
Talking about that 4-game win streak, last weekend swept the Blue Ridge Bobcats. What does it mean to you to go on that 4-game win streak, especially when you have such an important next 4 games coming up?
I think the guys' confidence has just been building with the way that they need to play and the things that they need to do in every situation. And I think that showed itself on Saturday when it was just a tight 1-goal game for pretty much the entire 60 minutes. And the guys were able to continue to battle under pressure. And in the last 5 minutes, 6 minutes, they were able to take control of the game. So, I'm pretty proud of the guys, and I know those guys are proud of each other.
So this past Friday, 6 goals, all scored by 6 different players. What does that mean to you in terms of how this offense is progressing?
I think it's just our offense is doing a good job in a lot of different areas. We're scoring a lot on the line rush and coming out of the D zone, offensive zone-wise, power play. The power play's got 3 goals in 3 games now. So, again, it's just everyone. We've gotten a lot of different players in now, and they've had some time to gel and then learn the systems and get comfortable with it and confident. And I think that's just starting to culminate this past weekend, and hopefully we can continue to do those good things.
Speaking of goal scoring, I think now is a good time to introduce one of our new segments, the Green Tree Toyota Play of the Week.
Have Blue Ridge set up in a controlled breakout. So that means we will be in a controlled forecheck, which is a 1 and a 1. And then you'll see we have 3 guys along the blue line, 2 defensemen, and a forward. And that forward will be on the bench side of the ice. Blue Ridge is moving the puck up. Now we have our 3 guys along the bench side, along the blue line, and Austin Belfay, the forward, will be on the bench side. He does a great job of getting his stick right on this pass. It's a little bit out of the camera, but you can see good stick here. That deflects the puck up into the stands. Now, if we fast forward this to the next face-off, Austin Belfay's good stick has forced a neutral zone face-off here. We're going to win this face-off, and you will see that Alex Ledkoff does a good job of boxing this guy out. And what that means is he's going to get in the way, so that way our defenseman here, Ian Tukane, can get the puck up the ice. So here we go. We win the face-off. Alex does a good job here of boxing out, getting in the way, so that way Tukane can get the puck up. Now we have Mr. Noah Robinson setting his feet, head up, looking at the goalie, does a very nice shot on the pad to create a rebound. Alex Ledkoff going to the net, gets the rebound, and is able to put it in the net to give us the go-ahead goal and make it 3-2 with 5 minutes and 27 seconds left. Very nice sequence there from everybody involved.
And that was the Green Tree Toyota Play of the Week. Talking about another Hatrix player who has been absolutely outstanding for you, Sebastian Risar. He is 2nd in the league in save percentage. What can you say about him, especially from your perspective, not only being a head coach, but a former goalie yourself?
If you're ever going to have success, you need to have good goaltending, and Sebastian has done a phenomenal job for us ever since he arrived. So hopefully he can continue to do those things. I mean, it's always nice to know when you have somebody back there that can bail you out at different times, and he has done that many times since he's been here. So hopefully he can continue to do that, because if we're going to have a successful season, we definitely need him to be able to do that for us.
Someone who I feel like we've talked about a lot, but it kind of gets to the point that when they're this impactful, it doesn't matter how many times you talk about them. Alexander Ledkoff, he now leads the league in goals at 16, and he is in 3rd in terms of points. What does he mean to you and this team?
It's definitely nice to have him there. He plays a lot of minutes for us, and I think we might have talked about this a while back, but he's really learned to how to use his style, but also the guys have learned his style, because they got to get him the puck. And for him to be able to score so many of these goals on the rush and in different situations, the guys have to know where he's going to be at. So I think like the first couple of weeks of the season, it was a little bit of a slow start, and he's got a unique skill set. So it took a little bit of time for everyone to get used to it. Him, for the pro game coming from junior hockey, and then the guys just that are on the ice with him. But it's come together, and now they're all on a roll. So hopefully they can continue to build off that, because we can always use those couple guaranteed goals every weekend.
All right, thank you, John. Make sure you catch up with us this Friday here at the Danbury Ice Arena for our Ugly Sweater Contest and our SantaCon night, when we take on the Binghamton Black Bears at 7:30 p.m. Check out our website to register for these promo nights or to buy your tickets. See you then.
Back here at the Danbury Ice Arena, Phil Jubileo, Pat Grunberg with you here on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. Thanks again to AJ Galante for joining me in the second period. A little bit of a throwback second, except for the fact that Port Huron, Pat, now has a 3-2 lead. And if it were a true throwback, we probably would have had about 50 or 60 second period penalty minutes, and we didn't get that. In fact, we got very few penalty minutes. It's been a relatively clean game, and the skirmishes that we saw in the first period, they really have gone away. It's just been a hard-fought hockey game between these two teams, but Port Huron striking twice. 9:03, it was James to tie the game, and then Graham from Lockney at 12-12. Couple of mirror image goals, just a lot of bodies out in front, and that is how Port Huron has taken the lead in this contest.
Yeah, two scrappy goals in front. A couple that one was reviewed. I thought the second goal was going to be reviewed. So Port Huron finding their chances where they can. But for the Hat-Tricks, down 3-2. You mentioned at the start of the broadcast, 5-0 when scoring the first goal of the game. So we'll see if that rings true in the final 20 minutes.
Well, shots on goal in the second period. Port Huron at 15. They have a game total of 32. The Hat-Tricks, 9 second period shots. They have 18. Remember that Caden Fennell, the Evansville, Indiana native, has to serve the remainder of his holding penalty, which was at 19:44 of the second period. We'll see the Prowlers begin the third with 1 minute and 44 seconds of power play time. And this has been a Prowlers power play, which is last in the league, despite scoring 4 on the power play back on the 20th against Blue Ridge. So Danbury's been pretty good on the penalty kill. We've seen some very good saves in the meantime from Sebastian Resar, especially on the power play from the opposition. Third period is underway. Anderson moving it across. Price had it briefly, cleared out to center. Johnny Ruiz will take it. Here he comes 1-on-2. Ruiz to the backhand and couldn't get the puck on net as he has it poked away here with 20 seconds gone by to the third. There comes Price with some speed through center. Across the Danbury line. Give and go in front. Price just missed that one. He was able to get it through the netminder, and the Hat-Tricks able to clear.
Yeah, you mentioned the Prowlers power play towards the bottom of the league, getting quick started by the Bobcats. Same thing happened with the Hat-Tricks when they faced them a couple weeks ago. So hopefully trying to keep this going there if you're the Prowlers right now.
Alex Johnson with it at the point. Around for Graham, who has the lead goal in this contest. Pass goes through the crease. Matt Graham, the head coach of this team in his 5th season. They have player coaches for Port Huron. Alex Johnson is the assistant coach. Puck is loose in front. There's a shot. Never got all the way through, off the stick of Lockney. Played back out to the line. Across now for Federley. Inching in. Blocker stop made by Resar and then flipped high in the air. And back to Lockney, top of the right circle. He moves left with 23 left to the penalty. Back straight away. Moving to his left is Johnson. Now along the half boards. Federley behind the net. Touch pass out in front. Bucell couldn't get it in on goal. Now softly to the right side. Lockney feeds it back for Johnson. Johnson to the left side. Federley drops it behind the back. Graham to the far corner. Lockney looking. Bucell tried to ladle it back to the line. No one was there, and the penalty comes to an end, but going right back to the box was Fennell as he played the puck, and the penalty apparently may not have been officially over.
You know, I was about to say, Phil, Caden Fennell has some wheels on him for a defenseman. He loves to start the rush on his own, and I was going to look out for a breakout pass to him coming out of the box, and you see the frustration there, sitting, throwing the helmet. Just a little too quick out of the box, and now 2 more minutes of penalty killing to do, still down a goal early third.
That is a breakdown in fundamentals on the part of Caden Fennell. So too many men. The penalty, this will be the 4th man advantage for Port Huron in this game, and just a rough break for the Hat-Tricks.
And Caden Fennell is an energy guy for this Hat-Tricks team. You saw in the first goal, especially the second goal too, you see him giving knuckles to all his teammates and hyping the crowd up. He's definitely an energy guy, and to have him sitting in the box right now is not something you want.
Well, the unofficial call, at least on the box score at the moment, is interference. Meanwhile, Hakala Feeds it back to the line. Favaro back to the half wall. Hakala to the point. Lockhart gives it back. Favaro drops it behind the back over to Anderson. Back to Favaro, and now for Anderson along the sidewall. Shadowed a bit, dumped in deep. And Suzinski will track that down. Fires it all the way through as we're 2.5 plus into this third period. And now the hat tricks, Pat, have to find themselves. They find themselves down a goal early in this third period. Still a ton of time, but those mistakes, those penalties, even if you don't give up goals, they add up. Puck is chipped in off the boards. Bucell overskates it, pinned to the wall briefly. Able to find Graham. Back to the left point for Johnson. Across now for Federley. This is the veteran power play group. Pass in the slot, deflected high by Bucell. Meanwhile, regained, unable to clear. Pass across, a shot. What a save made by Resar. It was a slap shot by Rockney from the right side, and a 10-bell save made by the rookie. As again, a clear here for the Hat-Tricks with 30 seconds remaining in the penalty on Fennell.
Hat-Tricks just need to get back to 5-on-5 here. They are very close to going down 2 goals if it wasn't for Sebastian Resar, who has been standing on his head a couple times tonight.
He has made a couple of brilliant saves. He had that great one back in the second period. Nearly made it 4-2 at that point in the contest. Now Johnson is shot. It gets through, but Sebastian Resar makes the save and holds on with 16:22 to play.
Sebastian Resar is a goalie who, especially this season, he is at the top of the league in save percentage, but he faces so many shots. I'd be surprised if he wasn't in the top 2 or 3 goalies in the league in terms of shots faced. So he's asked to do so much, and even if he does give up 2, 3, even 4 goals in a game, you hope his offense can help him out for such a hard-working goalie and such a busy goalie.
The save percentage was .919 entering the game. Here comes Austin Belfay down the right side, back to Lakoff, had it swept away by Bucell, and he handed it right to the netminder Cooper, and now we've got tempers flaring with 16:11 left to go in this third period. Belfay's in the fray. A little tie up there in the corner and quickly separated, and we'll see where they drop the puck at the end of this sequence. And will they send someone to the box? And, you know, one thing these referees tonight, Pat, have really, they've kind of put their foot down with these, and that's why I think we saw those little skirmishes end fairly early in the first period. They sent James along to the penalty box along with Gennaro Frandudo, and after those matching roughing penalties, we didn't really see anything. And we don't see penalties here, but they're definitely in control of this game for now.
You have to think they know the history between these two teams as well. You look at the score sheet, 150 penalty minutes. I don't think they want to be doing that much work tonight.
No, that's a lot of work on a Saturday evening when you're going to come back tomorrow and play at 1 o'clock on a game that was not supposed to be tomorrow. It was supposed to be last night, but the snow had other intentions in mind. Following the Cooper save, face-off will stay to the right of him. Lakoff to take the draw on the left wing circle. Face-off is controlled by Port Huron. They've been good on the draw tonight. Too far for Price, and we'll get an icing here on the Prowlers as Susinski goes back for it with 15:54 remaining. The referees tonight, since we mentioned them, William Lyons and Justin Crawford. Eric Ellingson and Will Fannin are the linesmen tonight. Really good friend of mine, Carmine Vetrano, who now works in the Federal League. He was a one-time broadcast partner of mine. He's now a linesman, works a lot of college hockey, works in the Fed, and he texted me before the game. He's in Watertown tonight. He's working that game. He was disappointed that he wouldn't be here. He does a lot of games here in Danbury. As there's a hit out at center ice. Puck dumped in. Resar left it. Fennell moves it up the boards. Belfay, nice pass on the tape. With it is Lakoff, dangling through the legs, and that one bounced in on goal. That wasn't a shot. It kind of got away from Lakoff, and a very heady save made by Cooper.
It's a great breakout pass to Alex Lakoff, and that's the #1 player you do not want coming at you in open ice. And went a little fancy there with the toe drag and got some leftovers that spilled out towards Cooper. But those are the chances you want to create if you're Danbury right now down a goal. Goal to your best guys like Cobb, Ruiz, etc.
Yeah, it's you don't want to be caught napping if you're Port Huron. That almost takes away a little bit of your offense because one of your blue liners always has to keep an eye open for what might happen behind you once the hat-tricks get puck control. Meanwhile, it is along the left side for Pickford. Racing through across the Prowlers line, now kicked up the right side. Bucell picks it back up along the wing. Stop short in the corner. Bizel in behind the net. And now back over to Bucell as he got pinned to the wall. Cleared ahead. And here comes Danbury with it from left to right. Kandurka, who has one of the 2 goals tonight for the hat-tricks, got the puck in deep. Johnson battling in behind the net against Jordan Crom. They both kind of collide along the wall. Crom a little slow to get up. And now played ahead, bouncing in on Resar, who has to field it like a shortstop and will step aside. 14:39 to go in this third period. It's 3-2 Port Huron leading the hat-tricks on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Raise a glass to locally crafted spirits at Litchfield Distillery. Enjoy free tours and tastings of our award-winning spirits, including bourbon, rye, gin, and ready-to-drink cocktails. Open daily with tours on the hour. Book your spot at litchfielddistillery.com. Litchfield Distillery, batch by batch. Craving a craft beer escape? Come to Reverie Brewing Company in Newtown, where every pint is brewed with passion and flavor. Catch a rotating tap list, enjoy food trucks almost every day, and join us for live events and good times. Visit reveriebrewing.com for our menu, hours, and upcoming events. Reverie Brewing. Don't quit your daydream. In the mood for a sweet treat? Visit Twister's Ice Cream Cafe in New Fairfield. Enjoy 32 delicious homemade ice cream and Italian ice flavors, including rotating specials. Plus, catch Twisters at all Danbury Hat-Tricks home games this season. For more information, check them out.
It doesn't directly affect the FPHL, but it indirectly could have. But right now, some good news if you're an ECHL hockey fan. The ECHL and the PHPA, a tentative end to what has been a strike since yesterday. And this weekend's games have not been played in the ECHL, or the coast, as us old-timers will call it, as a pass in front is broken up. So the players are going to return to the ice in good faith, pending the ratification of a new collective bargaining agreement. And why does that affect the PHL? Well, if the owners decided they wanted to keep playing, a lot of players from this league might have been called up. And then it's kind of like a trickle-up, trickle-down type of thing, and you have to find bodies to play in the FPHL. But it doesn't look like that's going to be an issue now, as it is skated through by Lockney and across the line. Gliding to his right, toe drag, and he's robbed on a save by Resar, who has been splendid in this game, despite his team trailing by 1.
Again, just standing up after the odd man rush, not spilling any rebounds, keeping his team in the game like a good goalie does. You mentioned the good news about the player strike. I was worried they were going to have to call me up to play fourth line wing next weekend if all our guys are gone. I don't know. I haven't skated in a while, Phil.
Fourth line, you know what that means. You got to drop the gloves.
I know.
It's usually what the fourth line forward does. We haven't seen that tonight in this game. Puck cleared out to center. A little too far up the boards. Now Danbury in this game dressing just 5 defensemen, so it's been a hodgepodge on the line. Price racing in off the post. He beat his man, looking for his second goal of the night, and that time the post helping out Resar.
He's done a couple of those tonight, just racing down the outside slot, and here he is again.
He's got good speed. Force of the corner by Tukane. And now back along the near wing side. Pinned along the wall is DeCumbis. He's bumped into the wall. It's not been the most physical of games between these two teams. Had some skirmishes, but not a lot of big body checks as Tukane slides that in. Played behind the net by Cooper with 13:08 and counting, left in regulation. And the long outlets deflected to the line by James, regained by the Hat-Tricks. With it is Belfay. He's got speed up the left side, moved away from the puck, and the Prowlers have it back. Across the line with it is Morick. Morick gets moved off the puck by Legkoff. Now a scrum in the corner. 3-on-2, and the extra skater there from Danbury. Good work by Robinson to force his stick in, trying to free that puck, and you got Slusinski in there as well. Finally with it is Pickford. Pickford, pass to the right side. Lakoff looks to track that down. He will beat out an icing, has it behind the net as it's knocked to the corner. Robinson there. Good stick lift in behind, preventing Lakoff from getting to it. Pinching the boards is Pickford, and you'll see some more of that from the defenseman in this game as the Hat-Tricks are looking to get the equalizing goal. Ladled up the boards as it's brought through center ice. So a change made by the Prowlers. They're ahead 3-2 as we approach 12 minutes to play. Well, traffic in behind the net. Turnover. Hakel has got it. R2 Hakel turning and shooting blocked. Lockney tied up in the slot. And now up ahead to Belfay. Austin Belfay will dump in and curl off on a change with 11:50 to go. Now coming up during the next whistle, if we're still here, if it's not immediate timeout, Pat's going to take you through the scores around the Fed. Meanwhile, Graham with a backhand shot and tied up in front for a face-off coming in the Danbury zone.
Yeah, just a quick look around the league. You mentioned the game up in Watertown. That's between Binghamton and Watertown, two cross-town rivals. Binghamton wins that one 6-1, so there is no way that Danbury can fall below fourth place tonight. They will stay in fourth no matter what. Watertown still in fifth place. Athens up 3-1 against Petey. The game out in the Continental Division, a 3-1 game right now. Also in the third period, Columbus 3-2 over the Thunderbirds. We'll get to a couple scores in a little bit to finish this off, but back to you, Phil.
Puck comes all the way back into the Port Huron zone. Prowlers will bring it up. Favaro had it knocked right back to him. Cleared off the far boards, tracked down by Anderson. Here he comes down the wing, stopping short against Fennell. Took a little bit of a body check along the wall. As the puck rolls on edge out to center ice. Lakoff trying to get to it. Lakoff's got it, 2-on-1. Lakoff pass across shot, big save from Cooper. Robbed was Kanderka, looking for his second. It's still 3-2, Port Huron.
We've seen that so many times this year with Lakoff just stealing the puck and has a 2-on-1. He's so good at teeing up his teammates. And we saw that connection between Lakoff and Kanderka back in the Blue Ridge series a couple weeks ago, and that one was a goal for Caden. He already has a goal tonight and just couldn't get on top of that one and get it home.
Lakoff was looking for his second helper in this game. He had one back on the first Danbury goal, his 40th point of the season. Lucas Lockney 1-on-3 looking short side, nothing there. And here come the Hat-Tricks up the boards. It's Rupsoff. Rupsoff from the wing looks to lob it out in front, and then cutting to his left and falling was Lakoff as he was going in with a head of steam right up the middle. Tried to move to his left and caught an edge.
I call Lakoff a bull in a china shop. That's really what it does, crashing in on net. We'll finish out these out-of-town scores. The other Empire game is Blue Ridge 4, Indiana 4. Those two teams at the bottom of the division. And the final two, Baton Rouge up 1-0 against Biloxi in the second period. And the only cross-division matchup tonight, Monroe 1, Topeka 1 in the first period.
Face off out in the neutral zone. Rupkoff drops that back as Slusinski drives that puck in. Is along the boards. Johnny Ruiz couldn't knock that down. Turnover at center. Across the line is Rupkoff, and offside is whistle on the Hat-Tricks with 10:27 to go. These two teams will battle once again, a matinee tomorrow at 1 p.m. If you had tickets for last night's game, those tickets are good for tomorrow. If not, you can stop on at the Danbury Ice Arena, pick up your tickets before game time, or you can visit the Hat-Tricks website for your complete ticket information. Off the draw, won by the Hat-Tricks, shoveled high in the air and in by Austin Pickford. Too far up the boards. We'll get an icing here. Fennell getting back to it as Connor Bazal was unable to play that one along the wall in his own end.
And Phil, with 10:15 left in this period, I think this is a real inflection point for this team. This weekend is a real litmus test for how the season's been going. Last time they played these guys was the first weekend of the season. This is kind of a check-in point to see, hey, 2+ months in, where are we right now? How have we grown since that weekend sweep to start the season against Port Huron? Where can we get better? And also, this Hat-Tricks team has really done a thing that some teams do where they beat the teams they're supposed to beat below them, but they can't beat the teams that are above them in the standings. You've seen that in the kind of unfair draw playing so many games against Binghamton. And Port Huron, another one of these teams ahead of them in the standings as Resar makes another save to bring us to the under 10 timeout.
9:51 to play in regulation. It is the Prowlers 3-2 over Danbury. You are watching Hat Tricks Hockey on the Hat Tricks Digital Network.
Upgrade your home with Buzz 8 Appliance, your trusted source for top brand appliances and expert service. We've got the selection and knowledge to help you find the perfect fit. Visit our showrooms in Danbury and Brookfield or shop online at buzz8appliance.com. Buzz 8 Appliance, where quality meets dependability. Discover fresh quality and unbeatable value at Carluzzi's, your family-owned grocery market. We've got everything you need under one roof. Proudly serving Danbury and surrounding communities. Visit carluzzi's.com for weekly specials. Carluzzi's, where quality meets community. Hungry? Chick-fil-A has you covered in Brookfield on Federal Road and inside the Danbury Fair Mall. From the original chicken sandwich to fresh salads and nuggets, enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner your way. The perfect way to feed your family. Chick-fil-A, great food, friendly service. Craving something sweet? Treat yourself at Peach Wave of Bethel. Choose from a variety of creamy frozen yogurts, pile on your favorite toppings, and create the perfect swirl every time. Located right in the heart of Bethel, it's dessert your way every.
Face off back in the Hat Trick zone with 9:51 to play in the third period. 3-2, Prowlers leading the Hat Tricks. Danbury controlling off the face-off, lobbed out to center ice over the leaping Alex Johnson, who gets it back. Looks up ice. Home run pass broken up at the line. We've seen a lot of that from both teams, looking to kind of create time and space the other way on these long home run passes. And as it's clear to the point, kept in, shot, got through to Cooper off the stick of Caden Fennell, and it's held onto for a face-off coming in the Prowlers zone. But yeah, that's one of those things. And if you are defensively stout, you won't let that get through the middle. We have seen both teams, in particular Danbury, getting those opportunities up the middle. We saw it earlier in the game with Johnny Ruiz, a little bit more recently with Lakehoff, but Danbury has not been able to finish, and they need one of those.
You know, we've seen Port Huron do it a couple times, but I think it's a testament to Coach Beerchen and their coaching staff for getting this defensive group organized. A group that really hasn't played together that much. Sosinski and Pickford both brought in the last couple weeks in separate deals. So to have them working together as the first defensive pair and kind of tightening up the gaps is really, kudos to the coaching staff for getting that in order so quickly.
They have played very well in this game, both of them in particular. Very noticeable, whether it's Sosinski offensively using his body, Pickford, pretty good puck mover as well as Lockney looking in front. Belfay stepping in front to break that pass up intended for Hakala. Behind the goal, regained it is Pickford. Now on the tape, Lakehoff's got speed. It's a 3-on-2. Lakehoff in across the line. Cross ice pass. Went through Robinson, but Lakehoff back with it. Lakehoff to Robinson. Fed in deep. The shot went wide. Lakehoff got tripped up. He draws the penalty. Hat Tricks to go to the power play with 8:35 to go and a chance for them to get the equalizer.
Again, it's Legkov just flying around the rink. It's not just on the break, and we see it here. He's just running circles around the ice, chasing after loose puck, and yep, he gets tripped up there right to the left of Cooper's net.
Well, Port Huron, a team that leads the Fed in penalty minutes entering the game, and they'll continue to lead it. They're hundreds ahead of the second place team in the league, but they've been very disciplined tonight. But a big penalty here at 11:25. A chance here for the Hat Tricks to tie it up as Belfay, along with Rupzoff on the power play, joined by Crom, along with Johnny Ruiz and Pickford, who controls off the face-off win. Back over in the slot. Belfay pass out in front for Crom, and he tried to stuff that in. Cooper was there by the near goalpost side to keep it out.
And with some of the transactions that the Hat Tricks have made the last couple weeks, Vadim Frolov notably leaving the team, he was one of the fulcrums of the power play. So a couple new guys inserted in. Of course, Pickford, too, playing at the point.
That's a good word, Pat. Fulcrum. I like that. Look at that. That's the Holy Cross education that
Indeed
Pat has up there. Back out to the line. Very good school, by the way.
Roll Satyrs.
Back off the left wing boards. Ruiz punching it in the corner. Battle for possession. 20 seconds into this power play for the Hat-Tricks. Pickford moving. Now over to Rupsoff. Back in the slot. Dropped off by Belfay. He was looking to either feed that to Ruiz or to Leikoff or back to the line, but here comes Pickford again to the left side, and Belfay will steer it in. Settled behind the net for Johnson. Belfay couldn't keep it along the boards, as the Hat-Tricks will regroup out at center ice, and they'll start to change up their power play. So we'll see Leikoff come back in, along with Robinson. Susinski. Puck is in behind the net. Battling forward is Tukane. Both teams digging in with their sticks along the kick plate. Tukane comes back with it. He's got a man at the line. That's Susinski. He's got a goal tonight. Firing one blocked. Couldn't get back to it. Here's a loose puck. And Susinski, with those long strides, able to get to it ahead of James. And now here come the Hat-Tricks with a 4-on-3. This time pass. Leikoff is there with 40 and counting remaining in the penalty against Lucas Lockney. Played in deep. Frondudo dumped it off the wall. Gets it over now. Leikoff ahead for Robinson. Tried to ladle it down the wall. And a good clear attempt there. Sent rink wide and all the way through with 18 and counting left in the penalty on Port Huron. Long pass onside to Leikoff. Leikoff with it. Tries to chip that down. He's just shadowed by a couple of white sweaters. And now here they come shorthanded. Port Huron moving to the slot. Price fanning on it. Price looks to get it back. He's got Movalli tied up. Robinson to take that away. And now the Hat-Tricks 0 for 2 on the power play in this game, as it remains 3-2 Prowlers with under 6.5 to go.
Yeah, really nothing doing there on the power play. Couldn't really even get set up for a long time other than the first 20 seconds or so.
They had that early chance. The pass down low from Austin Belfay couldn't get it stuffed in by Crom at the front of the net. And yeah, you're right. That was their only chance on the man advantage. Meanwhile, James along the right side. As it comes around to Bizal. Back around to the left. Waiting on it, Luke James to the point. Johnson's shot was blocked, eaten up by Fennell. Behind the net, Pickford. Half a step in front of James. Poked ahead. Now Fennell forces it in on goal, and that is gloved by the netminder Cooper with 5:43 remaining.
You see the energy there from Fennell, who took the extra penalty that really didn't need to happen, trying to jump out of the box too quick and stepping up from defense and blocking a shot right at the blue line and leading the rush too. So he's a bundle of energy, number 2 in orange.
Well, the Evansville native played at Johnson and Wales University up in Rhode Island. Face-off will be to the right of the goaltender Cooper at the point. Shot ricochets wide. Back along the right wing boards. Tukane shoved it into the corner, was looking for Anton Rupsoff, but Port Huron coming away with it with 5.5 to go. And now if you are the Hat-Tricks, you got to find some sustained offensive zone time, and that is something they have not had at all in this game. They're outshot 40-26, and they just haven't been able to get the puck in deep and go to work. And sometimes you want to get pucks in deep and go to work. Meanwhile, it's Price with a backhand shot. Good save there made by Sebastian Resar with 5:12 to go. You think about the 2 goals, the tying goal and the go-ahead goal from Port Huron. That's what they did. They got their lunch pails out, put their heads down, and went to work.
2 goals that were not the prettiest by any means, but they count everywhere they come.
Face-off will be to the left of Resar. 37 saves in this game. He's been fantastic. Johnny Ruiz wins the face-off. Susinski gets it out to center ice. Quickly dumped back in. Resar settles it down and mistimes the pass for Susinski. Ruiz got it out to center. Rupsoff looking up ahead for Leikoff. So you see a little bit of a change offensively. 19 and 91 paired alongside each other, trying to bring their 2 best offensive forwards, as it's played by Tukane, who's logged a ton of ice time in this contest and battled in behind. Really short bench here for John Bierchin in his in this third period. Some guys we haven't seen since the first. We haven't seen thinking of Zachary Pamelayan, haven't seen him since the first period. Meanwhile, a chance blocked in the right circle. and now regain. Here come the Hat Tricks. 4:20 to go. Puck is flipped in to the corner. Newberg looks to get there. Newberg battling. Got it back out to the right side. Cleared out by Lockney. Pickford at the center line will dump in. Kept in the zone. There's a shot from the left wing side. Put in on goal, and we'll get a stoppage in play as that was fired in from the left wing by Josh Tomasi. And we'll step away. 4:03 to go. Final media timeout of regulation. It's 3-2 Port Huron.
It's time for a tasty, gooey treat. Crumble Cookies in Danbury has the freshest, warmest cookies around. With 6 new gourmet cookie flavors every week, there's always a reason to treat yourself. For the latest flavors and updates, visit crumblecookies.com/Danbury. Visit Danbury Duckpin Bowling Lanes for family fun. Enjoy the classic charm of duckpin bowling with 16 lanes, including a private party room. Perfect for kids' parties, senior leagues, and casual play. Open daily with affordable rates and a welcoming atmosphere. Visit DanburyDuckpin.com to reserve your lane today. Looking for a bank that puts you first? Visit Fairfield County Bank, serving Connecticut since 1871. With 17 local branches, we offer personal and business banking, mortgages, insurance, and investment services, all with a personal touch. Visit FairfieldCountyBank.com to learn more.
4:03 to go in the third period. Port Huron has not gone to overtime this season. They have a 3-2 lead over the Hat Tricks, who are trying to get this one past regulation and get points at a minimum. As Pat, you mentioned, they won't fall below 4th place in the Empire Division, but they have a long way to go to get to second. Port Huron entering the game 10 points ahead of the Hat Tricks. No one's catching Binghamton, and now it's a 2-on-1 led by Price, and he tried to go top roof, and he missed. Anderson is there. It will be a penalty on the Hat Tricks. Loose out in front. Great save made by Resar after being caught out of position. And we'll see the man advantage coming up for a 5th time tonight on a slashing penalty against Danbury.
No matter what happens at the end of this game, I think Price for the Prowlers has earned a star of the game, flying up and down the ice, and he's already hit the post at least 2 or 3 times so far and has the goal, and now creating another man advantage here with, will probably take at least 60 to 70% of the clock. You have to think, how much is there left really for the Hat Tricks to find a goal at even strength?
Well, you know, every coach has a different philosophy on when to pull the netminder as the Hat Tricks win the faceoff and send it clear. Crom looks to chase it down, but the bounce went away from him. That allows the Prowlers to start back in. They're 0 for 4 in the power play, and you always wonder, do you pull the netminder at this point or early just to even it up? I would say no. Meanwhile, nearly going coast to coast, streaking down the left side was Austin Federley, and good save there as it's clear from Danbury with 1:30 remaining in the penalty.
The Hat Tricks have had a couple shorthanded goals this season, so you might want to throw out some of your better attackers, even if they're okay penalty killers, see if you can spark a shorthanded rush.
Well, you've got Belfay out there, you've got Robinson out there. Both are good finishers. Lockney in the corner, played back out toward the line. Belfay tried to start up with it, and he couldn't get to the puck as Alex Johnson centers it ahead. And across the line, it's Bucell. Bucell brings it wide. Minute left in the penalty on Susinski. Too far for Lockney. Anderson there. Back in behind the net. Bucell gives it back to Lockney. Here's Bucell in Gretzky's office. Fans on a center ring pass. Out to the point for Lockhart. Swings it right side. Favaro. Bucell is shot. That one ended up off the goaltender. A good positional save by Resar. And the Hat Tricks able to fire it through and nearly, and they may have clipped someone on the Danbury bench. That might bring the faceoff back the other way with 34 remaining in Gregory Susinski's penalty.
Referee pointing back towards the Hat Tricks defensive zone, and that is exactly what's going to happen here.
Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, final home game between Danbury and Port Huron this season. They'll play 3 more games at McMorran Place later on in the campaign. R2 Hakala on the draw with Newberg. Stalemate. Played now with the line by Favaro. Kept along the boards with under 30 remaining in the hat-trick's penalty kill as Danbury gets a clear. And they've looked really good on the PK, perhaps the best part of their game tonight, Pat.
Definitely against a power play unit who has struggled this season despite being above them in the standings. So
across the line, it's Anderson. Tried to drag back for a wrister. Got bumped down to the ice on a good hit by Fennell. Back to the left side. There's Favaro looking, and the ricochet off the stick of Anderson went wide. It was a great shot pass by Favaro for Anderson, who had a 4-point game against Blue Ridge about a week ago. And now it's back to even strength with 90 seconds to play. Danbury's got to think about getting the extra attacker in. Starting to creep out is Resar. Resar is going to race toward the bench. Now he's got to go back as Port Huron has possession, cleared out to center, regained. Crom takes it in across the line. Extra attacker on for Danbury. Looking to get the game-tying goal here in the final 70 seconds of play. Diving out was Cooper, and he makes the save to hold on.
boy, that is some confident goaltending right there to jump outside of the blue paint and freeze a puck.
Now Cooper, a guy that comes in, one of the better goaltenders statistically in the league. A one-time emergency backup goaltender for the Washington Capitals. You don't get too many guys in this league that saw time in the show, even on the bench. We got a timeout here for the Hat-Tricks. So if you're John Bierchin, what are you drawing up, Pat, for this team?
I think something where you're getting a one-timer at one of the circles for either Johnny, who loves one to the right of Cooper's goal. We've seen him score a couple slap shots and some one-timers this season. Try to get Legkov on the puck early, just get him circling around. He's such a good distributor. And you see both of them coming out on the ice, Legkov and Ruiz.
Well, Ruiz with a 3-game point scoring streak, 3 goals during that stretch. Had a goal in the loss at Binghamton. So he is out there. You've got Robinson, Frondudo, Pickford, Legkov, and Rubtsov. Those are your 6. Empty net for the Hat-Tricks. Port Huron, as we mentioned, has not been sent to overtime this season. It would be their first time. And now Robinson kicked out of the circle. Ruiz comes in to take the draw. And the Hat-Tricks win the face-off. Pickford to the half boards. Rubtsov looking in front. Deflected back to the boards. And now cleared just across the line, but Pickford able to get to it here in the final minute of play. Delivered back in. Rubtsov, number 11, looking behind the net. Alex Johnson, assistant coach player on this team, had it tied up. Ruiz gets it back to Pickford at the line. Here's Ruiz from the circle. Johnny Ruiz. Cross ice pass. Rubtsov forcing it in front. It was broken up and now lobbed out to center ice. That one rolling toward the open net, but Pickford able to hustle back with 30 seconds to go. Time is winding down for Danbury. On the tape to Ruiz. He deflected it in, but couldn't get it all the way. And now to the open net, they score. So fired into the open goal from the near boards by Brett Lockhart. And with 23.7 seconds left to play, Port Huron has a 4-2 lead.
Danbury had a couple chances there. They didn't really get a shot on net, but they are working the puck well in the O zone. And just couldn't find the equalizer. It's going to be 4-2. Dropping to 0-3 on the season against their rivals from Michigan, though. Of course, like you said, Phil, play again in less than 24 hours. Tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Second goal of the year for Lockhart. The empty netter makes it 4-2. 15 seconds left to go in this game. Legkov's got it, moves it across. Slapped in by Movalli. Under 10 seconds to play. Puck in behind the net. They will not empty the net again as we are out of time. Horn sounds, and Port Huron for the 3rd time this season. They have defeated the Danbury Hat-Tricks here at the DIA. The final score, the Prowlers 4 and the Hat-Tricks 2.
Yep, makes it 5 straight losses for the Hat-Tricks, and notably 5 straight losses against teams above them in the Empire Division standings. Tomorrow's going to be a big statement game potential for the Hat-Tricks, who need a win, a prove-it win, against a team that they will likely see in the playoffs if they make it into the top 4 of the Empire. 12th loss of the season in regulation. Would have been nice to have this one, but thankfully another opportunity tomorrow afternoon.
Well, with the victory, Port Huron now 14-11 on the season, while Danbury with the loss, they fall to 8-12-3 on the season. They will stay in 4th place in the Empire Division. Port Huron remains in 2nd, as also they are a lot of points behind Binghamton. They started off the game tonight, 25 points behind Binghamton. They remain 25. Binghamton had a big win against Watertown earlier tonight. But don't go anywhere this weekend. Don't go too far out of the town area. Here in town tomorrow will be these two teams again, 1 o'clock at the DIA. Tickets available. Visit DanburyHattricks.com, or you could just stop by the DIA box office before game time. And if you can't join us, Pat and I will be right back here with it at 1 o'clock on the Hattricks Digital Network. For the entire production team, AJ Galanti for joining us tonight, and also for my colleague tonight, Pat Grudberg. Phil Jubileo saying so long from Danbury. Final score 4-2 Port Huron. You've been watching Danbury Hattricks hockey on the Hattricks Digital Network. Good night, everybody.